Broadcasting live from Project Oak. Welcome to the Out of Character podcast. Now you officially know what our faces look like.
And I suppose the least we can do is apologize. So sorry. So we're going to start off today because last week we talked about side quests, and I came in today with a very specific side quest. So here's my deal. Like for our last podcast, which wasn't a video, you had 3 characters up on the screen. For Cooley, you had Link, which is no surprise considered your speedrunning thing. For Stack, you had Master Chief. How do you feel about being Master Chief?
I can't even play Halo, to tell you the truth.
See, like you made a mistake, and then like me, you made me Mario, the fat Italian. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, what are you trying to say about me? Like, here's the fat Italian.
No,
I'm not Italian.
You say you're a plumber. You're gonna clean the bike.
But like, look, I had to work with what I had. All right, guys, and
but like, if you're gonna put us up as anybody, like you gotta do some work. Like Simon Belmont from the Castlevania series. Like that is my all-time favorite video character.
That's pretty good. And speaking of speedruns, have you seen the speedrun for Castlevania?
Like which one? The first one?
64.
No, why would anyone even... Like, I own the game because it says Castlevania, but why would anyone even want to play that game?
The way you speedrun is you put the cartridge in and then throw it away.
Okay, I think this brings up a great point that we can probably start with here before we dig in too deep about the emotional energy, and that is, if you guys could be any sort of video game character, who would you be?
I mean, if I could be any character in, like, video game history, it would, based on my feelings tonight, it would be Luigi.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, my God. You know, I bet everybody probably thinks that I would be Link. And, I mean, you'd be right. I'm kidding. But... have you guys ever played Super Mario RPG?
One time.
Okay, have you ever played it, Mike?
No.
Wait, was that the one time when we were trying the super jumps?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God.
That was it. That's the only time.
Gino. Do you guys remember Gino?
He's like the one character, like...
You don't really know if he was like stupid or if he was super smart, and I feel like that's exactly...
No, isn't it like just like an animated doll?
That's exactly what it is. It's like it's an animated doll. Fuck you, Mike. I'm seeing that from my hair, okay?
Yep. Yeah, so here's that was my side quest. Like I said, I had a bone to pick with you, and there it's picked.
Well, next time, design your own thumbnail, okay?
I can design my own thumbnail, but I don't want to be the fat Italian.
You know, I don't think he was fat in that picture. I purposely picked one because I thought that you might feel...
Is there a picture where Mario is
skinny? I pick people for their personalities, and I think you have a heroic personality, and you... have a mustache.
I mean, so it could be worse. You're always going after the princess. I have a helmet on my face. I'm constantly wearing a mask. So
I do have the Master Sword and just about every techie item you could ever imagine as Link.
He needs toys.
I really hope the mic picked that up. So today we're going to talk about emotional energy on a day that has been charged emotionally with energy for most of the night. I feel.
It really has. This is the first time that we've done video, and I can't even tell you. It's really hard to set this stuff up. So props to all of the YouTubers and podcasters out there who do this stuff and make it look easy. The main quest here today is to talk about emotional energy. And yes, our emotional energy was drained a little bit today. How was your emotional energy? Like, you know, and for those of you who don't know... you know, the emotional energy separate from like, you know, it's more about how you feel than how you think. You know, a lot of times with whatever job you have, you might do a lot of thinking, you might do a lot of physical labor, but this is about your feelings, right? We talking about them feels.
So, like, emotional energy, like, one of the biggest things to think about with it is, like, whenever you play a video game, whether you're Link and you have hearts, whether you're Master Chief and you've got your shield, you know, whether you're Mario and you got your pizza, or like Mario and you're going to shrink in size.
You get your mushrooms.
Like,
that's right.
You know, or in Mario 64, one of the good games for the 64, where you had your circle of life. You know, you lose little pie pieces. Like, you have life meters like that in real life. And if it drains, you don't die. And you don't get to, like, restart.
Right.
But, like, that's kind of...
not true. If your life meter...
No. He's
for emotional energy, not for your life.
If it drains, you are actually dead.
Well, I think in Zelda, you actually have that green energy bar. You know what I mean? Like, you have your hearts, and then you have the green energy bar, and, you know, that drains the more, you know, stuff that you do. The more energy you put into defeating all the problems in the world, the more drained your energy is.
You just mash on that B button. Who uses other powers?
But when you run out of green magic, you can't cast Din's Fire, all right? And it's only on the B button if you've done the reverse bottle adventure. So that's fucking nerdy. I'm sorry.
In life, like, you know, you're playing a video game, you go pick up a mana potion and, like, boop, or life potion, and it's back up. Like, you can't do that in life. Like, I couldn't be like, man, I'm feeling really down today. Like, I'm going to go to the store and buy a soda and a sandwich. That'll make me feel better. Like, probably not going to work. And then, like, the people who are like, oh, I'm feeling really down today. I'm going to go to the store and buy, like, alcohol. Like, chances are that's going to keep your bar going down. Because alcohol is not an upper.
It's true.
Like,
what if you get Sparks?
I don't drink, so I don't know.
Oh, it's like an energy drink alcohol. And so it's like...
Oh, like Four Loko?
Yeah, well, actually, that stuff's terrible. Dog Bite, that stuff's terrible.
I wouldn't know.
Word.
Right now, coming into where we are, there is a winter storm that is supposed to drop like 6 inches of snow. So, like,
8 inches.
My meter of, like, emotional happiness is, like, giant right now because I'm like, I might get the day off school tomorrow.
Shit,
so
that's tomorrow happening tonight.
It came out of nowhere. Like, people just after school were talking about it. It's like, hey, there's a storm coming for real.
Well,
it's 50 degrees today, and then
it's going to be a
snow
storm tomorrow.
Of course.
Well,
So, but the thing is, like, my emotional energy rests on one thing, and that is, do I get a phone call in the morning, or does my alarm on my phone go off? And it's like, if it's option 2, I'm going to wake up unhappy. If it's option 1, I'm going to throw on, like, some pajamas, and I'm going to pretend to go play video games and just fall asleep on my couch for a bit. And then, like, have the best day ever, because I'll tell you, teachers enjoy snow days more than students.
A lot, actually.
My job wouldn't close if an A-bomb dropped on Waterville.
Well, that's because it's, you know, it would...
Don't go there. So,
it probably improved the living conditions of all your customers. Okay, so... Yes, much like in video games where you have so much energy that you can only do so many skills, you can only perform so many skills, so many actions before you're just spent. It sort of mirrors life quite a bit. Much like in those video games, there's certain people in situations that you find yourself in that you are going to have to deal with that are probably going to drain you. Have you ever had that person, maybe it's at work, maybe they're a client, maybe it's just someone that's close to you, maybe it's your girlfriend? We've all had one of those.
Girlfriends that drain you?
Oh my god, yeah. Like, we're not even going there. That's but that is very true. Like, whatever situation that is going on in your life, it can be draining sometimes, especially during this time of year. In fact, I'm not sure if you've seen the video yet that was a prelude to this podcast, but this time of year is pretty dark, and a lot of you might be very sad.
So with emotional energy, like, for me, my emotional energy is like, you know, I spend it a lot on the people around me. Like, I really care. I really try my hardest for the people around me. No matter what's going on, you know, I'll always do whatever I can to help. Even last weekend, I went over to someone's house to help them get rid of their 27-inch tube TV. Like, it was old.
Get rid of it.
Well,
it's now in your house, right?
It's not even a tube TV.
They still have it, and I had to do a lot of help, like, getting their new stuff set up, because they put in, like, a whole new entertainment setup. And, like, I spent the entire day at their house, but, like, I felt good about it afterwards, because, like, you know, I spent the day helping someone, and, like, instead of that being something that drained my energy, like, that's something that fills it up. If we surround ourselves with negativity, like, we start to feel that way.
It's really true. And, you know, I was just talking about this the other day, that it's really easy sometimes, especially with those close to us, to turn others' emotional negativity into our own. Whether it's people you're dealing with, or most of the time with people who are close to you, they can be going through some things. Maybe they're going through a tough time. Maybe, you know, their life isn't exactly the way they had pictured it would be, and it really just comes out at this time of year. have you ever seen people that just project that on other people? No.
Of course.
But they just project that on you or on other people instead of dealing with and being aware of what their problems are and dealing with them in the right way.
Like, the only problem you have, like, where your emotional energy suffers is, like, when you walk away later that night and you're like, oh, I'm still pissed about this. Like, if you have an issue, like, don't walk away upset, because you're just going to drain all of the energy you have and just put it into negative emotions and feel awful afterwards. And it's just not worth it, you know?
Right.
So we have this phrase, and I literally have to use it at work every day, because I work with a couple people that they take phone calls, and, like, being a theoretical bill collector, you talk to people and they drain your emotional energy.
My God,
they absolutely drain it. Like, hey, by the way, like, just calling you about, you know, your merchandise that's due. Like, you have it, like, you owe us payment, whatever, and they, like, get pissed. So the tip is Q-tip. Quit taking it personal. Like, every time someone takes a phone call, just don't take it personal. Don't take it home with you.
Don't worry about all of that stuff from other people. Don't let it become your own. No one can drain your emotional energy without your permission.
I agree and disagree with that. Like, I think your friends can't drain your emotional energy without your permission, but, like, because you can always cut someone loose. But,
like your environment.
It's more, with family and environment and, like, job, sometimes you just can't avoid those things. And, like, they're all, whether or not you want it to, it will. You know, like, if you're doing something at work that you think is the greatest thing in the world, and then your boss comes in and they're like, hey, you know, I don't really like the way this is going down. Like, we need to change it or get rid of it. Like, you're going to have that affect you one way. Like, you can't walk away and be like, okay. Like, you're going to get hurt by that no matter what. Yeah. Like, that's an unavoidable pain.
Right. Right. Especially in, you know, cases where you're working with students, you know what I mean? They might not have the best home life. They might not have the best circumstances in their life, but you still have to go there every day and put on that mask. No matter what you're going through, you have to be strong for them. And that can be tough sometimes.
I mean, like, any environment you put yourself in, like, if you're at work with coworkers and you project a positive energy, then people will pick up on that. Being upbeat and positive, you know, other people will pick up on that, and as if you project it, you know, like, I have associates that work for me, and, like, if I come in, you know, with a pissy attitude, then, you know, go figure, in half an hour they'll also share that pissy attitude.
Exactly.
You know, if you come in and you act professional and you're upbeat and positive, then they pick up on that.
So. Human behavior is contagious. You know, have you ever had to deal with a terrible customer, and since they're in such a bad mood, they can put you in the absolute shittiest mood just from having to deal with them? It's contagious, man. But I heard that, you know, not only is human behavior contagious, but if we're aware of that and we know that our behavior, along with the behavior of others, is contagious, it's the first step in preventing that behavior or the negative emotions from becoming contagious. So be aware of that. You know, what sort of things are you guys, our viewers, our 4 viewers, doing?
We went up by 3 over the course of the video. I'm impressed.
What are you doing in your life that is emotionally taxing, and what sorts of things and events and situations are going on that are draining you? It's important to remember to recharge your emotional energy. So what sorts of things are you doing to recharge your emotional energy? Are you trying new things? Are you meeting new people? Are you remaining positive, as hard as that can be sometimes? What we like to do is go around and tell you some things that we've done that have helped us recover some of that emotional energy and feel better about ourselves.
There are things in real life that make you happy. Like, for me, there's a poet I listen to who recharges me.
Wait, is the poet you're talking about Shane Koizan?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. Love that guy. Did you see the new stuff that he released, by the way, recently?
Oh, it was all on an album I had already.
Oh, my gosh. It's really good. Really good, by the way.
Bought a house, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm feeling pretty good about that. You step back and you see that, like, you've made a step in life. Like, I'm owning a piece of something. Like, I'm putting my, you know, all my time and energy that I go at work is going towards building something, and it's going to be my, you know, theoretically my domain. So, Like I'm making my own video game, man.
That's right. Well, I think really what we're hearing you say is that taking control of yourself and feeling like you're
take control
in
of your own life. Absolutely.
Another thing that is really important too, and that can really boost your own emotional energy, which it's kind of counterintuitive, but goes along that same sort of path of thinking, and that is do things for other people. Seeing the happiness of other people, giving to the friends that matter, or doing things for the people that matter, putting a smile on their face. The people who are closest to you can bring you up. Why? Because that human behavior that is so contagious. I got you an awesome birthday present, Mike, and it's coming right up. All right, it's gonna make me happy.
Sweet.
All right, you know.
I'm excited.
Right. But it's little things like that. Invest your time in the people that matter. There's so many people in life that can hold negative memories in your heart, in your mind, that will just drag you down. And sometimes we can get caught up in the race of trying to compensate for that. Get caught up in the race of trying to make up for that negative emotional energy. Boost your own by doing the right things for the right people. Make them smile, and it will make you smile. Dan, you listen to poetry. I used to speedrun, man. Like, if you guys have checked out the speedrun videos, I actually talk about at the end of one of those videos why I started speedrunning. And it was because it was a dark time in my life. I probably was affected by S.A.D. I was probably pretty sad. And I think playing that game made me go back to childhood when everything was fine. The only thing you had to worry about was, hey, can't wait to get out of school because I still have, the 7th dungeon in The Legend of Zelda to beat today, and that's been on my mind all day, and I can't stop thinking about it. But, going back to that and speedrunning that video game, a couple of years ago was like really what allowed me to escape. It allowed me to recharge that emotional energy.
Being around people and having that positivity and like happiness in my life, like that's what really matters. And like it should, like even stuff like this makes me happy, but it's like bigger things that make a difference for me. Like going on trips, whether it be to like heading to Salem or going to the different haunted houses we go to, or going to Gen Con when we go to that. Those things that just make a difference for who we are, and just you're so happy for the most part.
Right.
To be around all of these other people, and you just kind of like thrive within their happiness.
What about you, Mike? What do you do to recharge your emotional energy?
I have a lot of different things. I'm pretty active, so like skiing is great. Like it's exercise. It's like freeing. I put in a lot of music. I listen to a lot of music, like all different genres. Recently started listening to country music. I do play a lot of video games, like a lot of action, like first-person things, but mostly like a lot of like outdoor things. Like I say, I ski, I snowmobile. I like to go fast. And just driving around, listening to music, like pretty much. Yeah.
Well, we bag on country music, but yeah, it can be really good, man. And also it can, again, remind you that other people have it worse than you out there. There's other situations. Things could always be worse.
Did we just step this into Schadenfreude? Like,
what?
Are you not familiar with Schadenfreude?
Tell me.
Are you familiar with Schadenfreude? It's like the most German word ever. It means happiness at the misfortune of others.
Well, that's our friendship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like that is what the word, like Schadenfreude literally means happiness at the misfortune of others.
We were just talking about pushing him down a flight of stairs. So.
That much is true.
But like, see how happy you just got thinking about it.
But yeah, so like, is that something that can recharge your emotional energy?
Yes.
Like, seeing other people unhappy. So that's gonna happen.
Oh my God.
No.
So it looks like it's time for the try this section of our podcast.
I'm totally stepping out of frame. I'm talking loud so you can hear me. So for all of our audience, you guys don't get to look yet. So look away from the computer. For all of our audience, like, this is what's coming at them, if you can see it. Like, it is going to be horrendous. So, but what I have here...
Well, that's a good start.
What I have here is another tin full of slimy, awful things. And we are going to eat these no matter what.
No, okay, hold on. I need to recover. Does anyone have a mana potion that I can drink, an energy potion to recover?
You have to eat. There's no backing out.
Oh my God.
That's...
What is it, dude? Can I see the cover that you showed all of our audience here?
There's some squidlies.
Oh my god.
Oh no, dude.
Oh
God, dude.
I gotta share this with our audience. Like, if you thought the top of that looked hideous, like, you ain't seen nothing yet. Like,
Oh
There
my
it is.
god.
There it is.
Oh, look at
There it
that.
is.
Yum.
Just pull out one individual one. You can see the little body and everything.
oh god.
Don't get it on the keyboard. I'm gonna be smelling that forever.
Oh my god.
Like,
Dude.
Oh.
like, you're a little squidly. There he is. Like, look, there he is.
Oh.
It's like
We can't.
it's like Cthulhu.
Oh god, dude! I just caught my first like legit whiff of that, man.
I'm picking out little. Look, they're tiny. They're tiny.
Why do we do this section of the podcast?
It really has fucking eyeballs. Like, can you see that? Like,
Oh
does anyone?
my god.
Can you see that? This is actually making me like feel some type of way.
You can't think about it. Just do it. All right, I got my wits to me here.
Oh god, that's awful. Oh my god. I finished it. Drink time.
Where's that trash can?
Oh god, that is horrendous. Who buys these other than me for this one purpose?
It just doesn't get out
No,
of your
like
mouth
it's
ever.
just there.
We're gonna cut real quick so that we can go get something else to eat.
Like
so
a
that
like a
this is-
pizza?
Oh my god. Yes, like and bring this shit down.
Dan, you're officially cut off.
Oh, that was the worst.
I couldn't swallow that dry.
Welcome back, Dan. That was by far the worst one you've ever done, man.
Yeah, that
like
was
we.
We're
terrible.
only 4 in. Like that's gonna be tough to beat. If you guys ever are feeling bad about yourself, just eat roast squid.
I would scarf a whole wet bucket full of shit right down to the bottom and lick the bucket.
Oh my
Before you-
god.
Ever eat another roast squid?
We had Dan just chuck that fucking thing right outside. Look, we want to thank you again for tuning in to our first ever video podcast. From the bottom of our hearts, we really appreciate you. We hope you've taken an interest in this, and we will see you next time. This is the Out of Character Podcast.
Peace. So here's what we need to know from you. As our viewing audience, we need to know, what did you like about the show? What did you dislike? Is there anything you feel we could do better? Even more than that, what are some things that you think we can talk about? Give us some ideas, and if we like your idea, sure enough, we'll talk about it. So if you can help us out, it'd be great.
Put it in the comments below.
It would be great. Anyway, thank you again for that help, and have yourself a wonderful day.